Hey everyone, welcome to the another episode of Bytesized-leadership, the show where we unpack how today founders are building a smarter, faster, and more efficiently with AI. I am your host Manish, and today I am joined by someone who is solving the one of the hardest problem in B2B outreach. Joining me, Putri Karunia, who is building SendEgg, an AI-powered tool that helps founder, agency, and a small team manage and automate LinkedIn and Gmail outreach in a way that actually work. Putri, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for hosting.
Well, great. So Putri, before we get into the tech space, tell us little more about your journey. How did SendEgg start? Was there a specific pain moment that you saw in the industry and you decided, okay, we need to automate this?
So I guess it started a little bit over a year ago. I was building a website builder called Type Dream, and then from there I started a small design agency mainly for founders. And to do that, I had to do a lot of outreach myself to find design clients. And then from there, it sort of evolved into 2025, where I talked to a lot of founders, and a lot of them have to do this, but the one way that is most effective for them is actually to do outreach from LinkedIn. And so from there, the idea of SendEgg sort of started, where I see that for a lot of these founders, they are having problems, I guess, in doing outreach in LinkedIn. Either they are trying to stack a bunch of tools and then it just takes time, or because of that, they would just then go back to just do LinkedIn manually because they need to just start. And it still takes a lot of time for them. They lose leads as well because there's no like system. It takes time to scrape all like the information so that they can reach out better. And so yeah, that's where SendEgg started. I just wanted to make their lives easier by making everything end to end in SendEgg.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. That makes so much of sense. Every founder I talk to say the same thing. Like outreach is broken not because there is no data, but because it's too much of noise.
Yes.
And I love that how SendEgg is tracking this with precision. So now, for the audience, Putri, let's unpack these five workflow one by one, starting with the first one. So that is post engagement mining. So help us understand, how did you come up with this idea of using post engagement as a lead source?
I'm actually in like a community where a lot of founders would be posting very regularly on LinkedIn, and we would like help each other out, boost each other's posts. And I can see that a lot of it is actually working pretty well. And so I started asking them if it makes sense for them to use the people that are engaging with their posts and reach out to them. And they say that, yeah, absolutely, because the main point is that these people already know about the product, know about the problem, and so they are more like warmer leads. And so that's why we built the post engagement mining feature for SendEgg.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you are basically saying leads who already engage are warmer than the cold scrapped list.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. So let's talk about the second feature, that is LinkedIn search filter. So what is the smartest way SendEgg uses AI to clean up messy LinkedIn searches?
Yeah, so we started that because one of our earliest users, she was a founder in healthcare. And even with Sales Navigator, it's very hard to find specific roles because people like to put their roles as like sometimes like very differently, and so just a filter isn't enough. So what we do is that we can take your natural language criteria. So after you do all the filters, and then you can add a criteria, and sometimes it can be very very complex. For example, for myself, it's like I want to find founders and founding AEs or sales leaders at startups that are targeting B2B, but it's not a competitor to my product that is also doing sales tools. So it's like a very long requirement, but that is something that AI can do very well by looking at profile and also the company description to figure out whether these profiles matches the criteria.
Yeah, and I believe it saves lots of time where people do this, downloading the LinkedIn data into the Excel, and then they will map their ICP, and then they narrow down to their real audience they wanted to reach out to, and it takes so much of time. And
Yes.
SendEgg is solving that with AI and narrowing down the list, and it's saved lots of time of the companies and the agency who are trying to make a outreach, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So help us understand, how does this multi company capture feature actually help a small team?
Yeah, so a lot of the time, people would want to find a specific role, but like in different companies. However, if you go to LinkedIn and then you look at the people list, it's usually like very messy, and there's also a lot of people where the roles aren't well defined, like they don't use the same names for the roles. So what we built is an easy way to capture um, people from each company that you want to reach out to. And then after capturing like all the people from all of those companies, it's very easy to then use SendEgg's advanced filters and also the AI narrow down to find the specific people, the specific roles that you are looking for in these different companies. So it saves you time instead of like going through a company's profile one by one and then like scrolling through the people list in each company. You can just grab all the people from a bunch of companies, and then
Right,
from there you just narrow down that big list into the roles that you are looking for.
right, right. Awesome, awesome feature. So, Putri, when company is looking at their competitor in the market, so it's a very tedious task for them to decide, like, which competitor post would be a worth scraping for them. So how do you decide that? Like, out of there in the market there will be lots of competitor, but which competitor post I should scrap that would be suitable for my offering and the services that I have in a place.
Yeah, so actually there are several types of posts that a company or like the founder of the company would be posting that is related to their product. One is a launch post, and that one I don't think it's very useful because a lot of the reactions would be like people saying congrats and all of that. The ones that would be useful actually in terms of like minding their engager are posts about the problem that they're solving. So these are like problem statement posts about a specific problem that your competitor is solving, and since they're your competitor, that problem will resonate with the problem you are trying to solve. And so from there, if you look at the people who engage with those posts, those people are sort of pre-educated about the problem, and because they engage with the posts, they are already have in mind about that problem. Like they already have that problem in mind, so you don't have to re-explain and or re-educate them about the problem. Another one is a thought leadership post from your competitor
Right,
about the space.
right,
And also sometimes your competitor would have, depending on your space, sometimes competitors or founders would have this kind of freebies where like this is the playbook, blah blah blah, and then like
right, right,
if you're interested, reply with I don't know, demo or something. And
right,
so these are people who are like interested and you can see that. So that would be a great place to mine post engagement as well.
right, right. And what I like the interesting feature in SendEgg is, once you have the engager data in a place, you can pretty much narrow down and filter those data as per your ICP.
Yes.
So say if you have a list of say 200 people who has engaged on your post, but not all those 200 peoples are into ICP target. So you can narrow down that by industry, maybe employee count to the particular company, and make a very targeted list as per your ICP. And this all pretty much can be done with the SendEgg within the system, and then you pull those data into your LinkedIn campaign or email campaign, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, pretty good so far. So now let's zoom out a little. You are building in the AI plus sales space, which is crowded but exciting at the same time. So, what's your take on how AI is changing outreach over the next 1 and 2 years?
Yeah, so it's interesting also because in the past few years of sales, we are also seeing like a hack where people figured out that they could just blast emails and like automation becomes easy. And from there, people sort of become lazy when they're in their outreach in a way where they just play with volume, basically spray and
Right,
pray, and just hope that if they send to enough people, then like a percentage will come back. However, with a lot of automation tools being available easily and also with AI. Now people are just tired of all the noise. And so it gets very hard to then now cut through the noise and stand out to your ICP, to your prospects. And so the way I see it is that one, we're already kind of seeing that from email, it's starting to change to LinkedIn DMs and cold calling again. And people are just trying a bunch of things to cut
Right.
through the noise. And
Right.
so I guess there are two ways this can unfold, which is one is that all the outreach messages will be written by AI, and then on the recipient side, they will have an AI who will then filter all of these messages for them and then look through it for them, and so it will be like AI talking to AI. That will be
Right.
one possible path. The other path is that to really cut through the noise, you would just go back in time and like just be human again.
Right.
But the ones who like really care, and we're also seeing this in like LinkedIn DMs, right? When you really care about your messaging and like you're actually trying to make a conversation with a person, it actually works a lot better. And I think people appreciate that a lot more. And also because of AI, building is getting easier and easier. And so for every product, there will be like a lot of competitor, and like how you win would be in terms of like how you show you care about your customer, making a connection with them, and like, yeah, actually helping them out and like having that human connection.
Yeah. 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 In sales and outreach, you have rightly put, like, it doesn't matter how much we are automating through the AI, human touch will be always required, especially in the sales and the outreach game that we are into. Because at the end of the day, you are selling to human, and that human touch and the human angle will always win over AI.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Putri, these days, lots of young founders, students are studying in, say, graduation or younger than that, like doing their schools at the age of like 17, 18 years. They are also curious and they are also building out something using OpenAI, using Gemini, using N8N. They are also trying to build something. So, one tip to these young founders who is trying to build an AI tool right now, what would be that if I have to ask you?
Yeah, that would be starting with outreach, actually. Like you have a hypothesis of a problem, you have a hypothesis of who have that problem. Let's validate first before you start building. Start doing outreach to people around the ICP that you think is having this problem, and just start a conversation. You're not trying to sell anything, and usually that is actually better. You are just trying to learn from these people what is your role and like how does your day-to-day look like. And then in terms of the problem that you are trying to solve, you can ask them like what is the hardest part about this task, and then from there you would learn a lot, and that would actually help you then build better products that actually solves
Right,
a real problem.
right, right. That's a golden advice, I would say. So now we have come to the quick fire round of this episode. So I will have a quick fire round questions, and you have to help me answer that. So the first question is: if SendEgg was a person, what kind of teammate would it be?
I think SendEgg would be your co-pilot in a way that, it will be helping you throughout your outreach, making it easier, faster for you, but not instead of you. It doesn't replace you, it just empowers you.
Got it, got it. One AI tool you personally can't live without.
That would be ChatGPT.
Yeah, yeah, it makes our work lots of easier day in and
Yes.
day out. So, Putri, this was awesome. I think SendEgg is such a great example of what a smart automation looks like. Less spam, more signal. For everyone turning in, check out SendEgg by following their LinkedIn page and the website. And if you are into smarter AI driven sales outreach, or follow Bytesized-leadership for more conversation like this. Thanks for listening. I am Manish, and I'll see you in the next podcast.
Thank you.